As we reported earlier this week, law enforcement officials told FoxNews.com exclusively that James Holmes mailed a notebook to a University of Colorado psychiatrist. They say it was full of details about how he was going to kill people, including stick figure drawings and illustrations of the coming bloodbath. Let's bring in our legal panel again for this. Big news coming in. Former prosecutor Jeff Gold and criminal defense attorney Regina Tsombonakis. And Jeff, explain this to us, because the defense is saying that these diagrams, these stick figures, this is all privileged and should not be released.
Well, of course, that's what the defense wants to say. There's a couple things. First of all, there's a legal point. If some person is telling a psychiatrist they're going to commit an offense, that's not privilege. So that's number one. And you want to know something else? I don't believe any of this. I think this is part of his plan. I think he set all this up. I think he went to the psychiatrist to set up a defense. I think he told the psychiatrist things to set up a defense. And I don't believe that notebook, by the way, that we've been talking about, was sent earlier. I think there's something rotten in Denmark here.
So Regina, give us the defense part of this. Why would you argue that this is privileged and that when you're kind of diagramming an attack, this should not be released?
Well, first of all, communications between a party and their psychiatrist are privileged. You need to encourage the person to be honest in order to be treated. There is a host of people who are treated for psychiatric conditions which may involve psychotic delusions or psychotic notions. Psychiatrists cannot sit there, call the cops every single time something like this is mentioned. No, it's part of the treatment. Do they really believe that this is going to occur? You cannot just start calling the cops. You can't.
Regina,
they have to protect it.
Regina, I'm going to tell you, I was down in Aurora all last weekend, okay? And I'm going to tell you something. If he told psychiatrists he was going to commit it, it's not privileged, and you can bet on it.
He didn't tell anybody. He mailed the notebook. The notebook has stick figures. Stick figures are going to be the basis of a psychiatrist calling it out on his client. I mean, he has to respect that. The psychiatrist will never work if all he does is call the police.
The psychiatrist is required to call a client out if the client is going to commit a murder.
If he feels it is imminent and not part of the treatment.
Okay.
A lot of people say a lot of things, especially when they're in treatment. You can't use it against them.
You tell that to the victims' families.
Right. Gotta go.
Listen, the privilege has to be protected no matter what.
Thank you both. Thank you both so much. Another last word for Regina. Thank you. We'll have much more on this breaking news as it comes in. But again, thank you both.